why you keep going in circles. If I had to point out one thing that stops most people from achieving what they want, it wouldn't be a lack of motivation. It wouldn't be a lack of talent. And it wouldn't even be a lack of time. It would be the fact that they keep starting over. Again and again. They keep returning to the same point. They keep going in circles. Maybe you recognize the pattern. You watch a motivational video. You read a book. You get a great idea. You decide to lose weight. Learn a language. Start a business. Build something of your own. For a few days, everything looks good. You have energy. You have a plan. You have hope. And then life shows up. You come home tired from work. You have a bad day. Someone annoys you. A problem appears. A temptation appears. An excuse appears. And suddenly, it all falls apart. A few weeks later, you are exactly where you started. And then you think, maybe I just don't have enough discipline. But very often, the problem is somewhere else. You asked yourself, what do I want to achieve? But you never asked, what will I do when I don't feel like it? That is a completely different question. Most people plan success. Very few people plan their excuses. And yet excuses show up far more often. If you're trying to lose weight, is the real problem really the diet? No. The problem is Tuesday evening. You come home exhausted. You don't feel like cooking. You open a food delivery app, and then a thought appears. One time won't hurt. At that moment, most people start negotiating with themselves. And negotiations with your impulses rarely end in victory. That's why you need an algorithm. An algorithm doesn't think. An algorithm executes. If the urge for junk food appears, first, I drink a glass of water. Then I wait 10 minutes. Then I remind myself why I started in the first place. Not to eat salads for a week, but to have more energy in a year. Better health, better physique, a better life. Only then do I make a decision. I don't always win, but I am no longer acting on autopilot. And that is the point. Not perfection, control. The same applies to self-improvement. You have 20 minutes of free time, and a thought appears. It's not enough time. It's not worth starting. Sounds reasonable. The problem is that those 20 minutes turn into an hour of scrolling, then a day, then a week, then a month. So the algorithm responds. If I have even 10 minutes, I do the smallest possible step. One sentence, one note, one page, one idea, because progress is not made of huge bursts of effort. It is made of small actions repeated over years. People often ask, how do I find motivation? I think that is the wrong question. A better one is, what excuses appear most often in my life? Because you already know them. You have a full collection of them. I'm tired. It's too hard. The competition is too strong. I don't know where to start. I don't have the conditions. I don't have time. Later will be better. The problem is that most people hear these thoughts for the 100th time, and every time they react as if it was the first. But they will come back. If you have been trying to change your life for a year, you already know what will stop you tomorrow. So why not prepare the response in advance? If I know I will be tired after work, I prepare a version of the plan for my tired self. If I know I will lack focus sometimes, I prepare simpler tasks. If I know doubt will appear, I prepare a response to doubt. That is the algorithm, not building a perfect plan, building a procedure for imperfect days. Because real life is mostly imperfect days. Now imagine yourself 10 years from now. You have two paths. In the first one, you do nothing. You keep postponing. You keep making excuses. You keep waiting for the right moment. Years pass. You watch others build the life you once wanted. And only one question remains. What if I had tried? The second path looks different. Maybe you don't become a millionaire. Maybe you don't achieve everything. But you are further than you are today. You know more. You can do more. You earn more. You have built something of your own. And most importantly, you don't carry the weight of never trying. And there's a third possibility. The one people are afraid to even imagine. Maybe it actually works. Maybe years of effort finally pay off. Maybe you achieve more than you can imagine today. And one day you look back and realize it all started with a few simple decisions, a few algorithms, a few prepared responses to your own excuses. Because life rarely changes through one big decision. It changes when you respond correctly to small problems hundreds of times. And maybe that is why you keep going in circles. Not because you are weak, not because you lack talent, but because you're trying to improvise where you need a system. Motivation will pass. Emotions will change. Problems will appear. Temptations will appear. Bad days will come. The only question is, what will you do then? If you don't know the answer, start here. Build your own life algorithm and then execute it day after day, because the person who has direction and a system will always go further than the person who only has motivation. Every single time.